In less than 2 hours, the U.S. Supreme Court will consider the historic case that began in Colorado in September. Does the 14th Amendment disqualify former President Trump from Colorado's primary ballot and perhaps ballots in other states?
Our political reporter Marshall Zellinger is live in Washington, D.C. this morning, where people camped out overnight to try to watch this hearing in person. Marshall, good morning.
Good morning, Jordan and Corey. I'll tell you, it's been a long time since I waited in line for access to anything. Back in the 90s, I used to have to wait outside of a soundtrack to get concert tickets, but that would be like an hour or two ahead of the event. These people have camped out. Most of the people here have camped out overnight. Some people showed up when they had line sitters apparently waiting overnight. It started at 2 p.m. Tuesday Denver time, even though the hearing doesn't start until 8 a.m. Denver time. So that's quite the effort to go inside, and not even a guarantee to get inside the Supreme Court. The first 50 or so people will get inside because there's about 50 spots. If you're 51, you might have waited for nothing. There's someone who does not have to worry about guaranteed access inside, and that's Norma Anderson, the namesake of Trump versus Anderson. Anderson, a Republican and former state lawmaker, put her name, one of 6 Colorado voters who put her name on the lawsuit that challenged the eligibility of former President Trump. Based on the 14th Amendment's insurrection clause, arguing his involvement on January 6, 2021 disqualifies him from running for president, no different than being younger than 35 or not being a natural-born citizen.
They don't tell us who to put on our ballots, the federal government. We decide who goes on our ballot. So if it becomes a states' rights issue, I think we win.
Anderson told me she is apprehensive, excited, and concerned. Perhaps the same emotions that the people in line had overnight waiting to see if they get inside, and perhaps some of the emotions that countless media members, including ourselves and all the people behind us here, have as we wait for 55 minutes, or no, an hour and 55 minutes. The time change is screwing me up, Jordan and Corey.
And you're also not usually up this early either, right?
Yes. So Marshall, in an hour and 55 minutes, once you go inside, what's the timeline for today?
Argument is slated for 80 minutes, 40 minutes for the Trump side, 30 minutes for Norma Anderson's team, and 10 minutes was set aside for Democratic Secretary of State Jenna Griswold's attorney from the Attorney General's office to also argue. But I've been warned, just because it's set for 80 minutes doesn't mean it's going to be just that amount of time. One of the lawyers who is helping the team of lawyers arguing in front of the Supreme Court told me that they're anticipating perhaps up to 3 hours. We're not allowed electronics inside, and I can only pen and paper so much. So I'm hoping closer to the 80 minutes than the 3 hours.
Back to your days as a cub reporter. Well, no matter how long this may last, we know you'll be paying very close attention to every second. Marshall, we look forward to your coverage. Thank you. And several other states are dealing with similar lawsuits to keep Trump off their ballots. New this morning, a court in Illinois just set a date to hear one of those suits. That hearing will be next Friday. Trump wants to wait until the U.S. Supreme Court hears Colorado's case. Their decision will set the precedent for every other state. And as we mentioned, we are staying on top of this Supreme Court case all day for you. Marshall Zellinger going to be live there, keeping us up to date as best he can and bringing you those live updates when they happen. You can take us with you and follow along all day long on our 9 News Plus app and on 9news.com.
It's 6:06 right now, and happening today, a judge is scheduled to officially charge a man in the shooting the night the Denver Nuggets won the championship. 10 people were hurt when shots were fired that night in Lodo. 9 News reporter Courtney Yoon joins us live from Denver District Court. Courtney, Ricardo Vasquez was initially facing drug charges.
Yeah, that's right, Corey. He was initially arrested on those drug charges the night of the shooting. When police searched Vasquez, they found cocaine, crack cocaine, and meth. Those 4 charges of attempted murder came later.
EMS 2, we got shots fired at 20th and Market.
This shooting happened June 14th near 20th and Market Streets as crowds were breaking up after the Nuggets won the championship. Officers were already there because of the celebrations. Police believe Vasquez exchanged gunfire with another man, Kenneth Blakely. Officers saw Vasquez running from the area, clutching his waistband. 10 people, including Vasquez, were hurt in that shooting. Vasquez's arraignment is set to begin at 8:30 this morning. We'll be inside and we'll make sure to keep you updated. Corey?
All right, appreciate that, Courtney.
This morning, a man is recovering after police shot him in Fort Collins, right near CSU's campus. We don't know much about his condition, but this morning we are learning more about what led up to this shooting. Around 1:30 yesterday, Fort Collins police say they got a call about a man who had dropped a gun, then picked it back up. Police say they recognized him as a suspect wanted on a felony warrant, and they asked him to drop the gun, and he did not. That is when an officer shot him. The Larimer County Sheriff's Office says they are now investigating.
Today, the Senate will get back to debating a funding package of $95.3 billion for Israel and Ukraine. Initially, that aid was tied to a border security deal. The package failed yesterday in a 49-50 vote. Republicans have been demanding a bill like this, but only 4 of them voted in favor of it. So now Democrats are trying to get that foreign aid separately. Since the full immigration package failed, the Biden administration says the president is considering an executive action.
Yeah, that's right. It would be designed to deter illegal immigration across the southern border. The number of people crossing the southern border is expected to rise, and cities across the country, including Denver, say they can't handle the number of migrants coming in. Denver Mayor Mike Johnston and others have repeatedly asked the federal government for help.
It's 6:09 right now, and just within the last 3 minutes, we have learned the search is over for the 5 Marines whose helicopter went missing. We just found out they were found dead. Crews first found the helicopter near San Diego yesterday, and it took them until today to find the Marines. They left Vegas Tuesday night, and they were supposed to land at a Marine Corps air station in San Diego. That never happened, but it's still not clear why.
New overnight, a volcano erupted in Iceland for the 3rd time since December. New video shows lava spewing more than 150 feet into the air. The Icelandic Meteorological Office says that nobody in the nearby town is at risk, but they did have to evacuate one of Iceland's biggest tourist attractions, the Blue Lagoon.